Pew, 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 pew. Okay, congratulations, horns. All right, ciao. I was so excited. I was so happy today that I completely forgot to bring my lunch to work. Now, my Liptons, if you hear any weird sounds in the background, that is just my AC because it is hot as hell over here. Okay, but I wanted to come here and do a quick video and give a congratulations, a big shout out to New York. Y'all did your big one last night. Y'all did y'all big one last night, okay? The people voted. There are people celebrating. There are people that are in tears. I'm gonna talk about it. But first things first, let me give a congratulations to Zohran Mamdani. This man had so many cards stacked against him, okay? This man chose to run as mayor of New York City. If I'm gonna be honest with you, yes, there was a ton of candidates in this mayor of New York City race, but if we're really gonna be honest, this race was really between Andrew Cuomo, that corrupt sex pest criminal Andrew Cuomo, and Zohran Mamdani. And I think that the media truly focused on the both of them because we have to be honest, and there's no shade to the other candidates, but it was always given Andrew Cuomo number one, Zohran number two, okay? So the media kind of pit these two against each other, even though there are many other candidates in the ranked choice voting. And of course, Brad Lander, who was also really good, Adrian Adams and so forth. But, this was really an election about, against Cuomo, who was the establishment, and Mamdani, who was for the people. And let me tell you something, the people voted. The people in New York City voted, and they voted to have a democratic socialist to be their mayor. He won the primaries last night. And, let me just say this. A lot of people didn't have faith in him, okay? And, I would say, just to play devil's advocate, rightfully so in certain points, because I feel like when you have someone as an establishment candidate like Andrew Cuomo, he is bound to win due to his name recognition. And quite frankly, Cuomo ran a terrible campaign, but he didn't care because he knew that because of his name recognition, he knew that because he was a governor for 10 years, a decade or something, in New York State, that he felt okay, well, I have the name recognition, so people are just gonna vote for me just because of my name. And when I tell you New Yorkers proved this man wrong, when I tell you New Yorkers came in there and swooped, okay, and took Cuomo's wig and threw it in the trash can, that's exactly what they did, okay? They came out there and they voted for a fresh, new blood candidate, okay? And this is what I'm talking about. Zohran Mamdani is the candidate, the kind of Democrat, and honestly, Democratic socialist. At this point, forget about being a centrist Democrat, middle of the road Democrat, Republican-like Democrat. No, you either need to be on the left or a Democratic socialist in order to get especially to get someone like me, because y'all already know, in the presidential election, I wasn't feeling none of the candidates. I wasn't feeling Trump, I wasn't feeling Kamala, I was just over it. But for this one, I was ecstatic, I was happy, I was excited to see I wanted Zohran to win. I really, really, truly wanted Zohran to win because I feel like most of even though I'm more of an independent, but most of my policies or ideals align and ideology aligns with him. So I wanted him to win, but I knew that it was going to be an uphill battle for him because one, Cuomo had the corporate backing, the donors, Cuomo had AIPAC, Cuomo's a Zionist on top of that, so it's of course he's going to have AIPAC, he's going to have the Israel lobby supporting him, billionaires on top of that, Donald Trump. But mind you, Cuomo is a whole Democrat, and he had Republican billionaires donating to his campaign. So it's just immediately I was yeah, that's a turnoff right there. So Mamdani was right from the beginning, grassroots. He was on the ground to me personally, I did not see Cuomo on the ground, okay? I felt like anytime I saw videos of him on social media, he was always in a car zooming away, okay? Zohran was really on the ground talking to people who opposed him and opposed his policies, and even told him to his face that they weren't going to vote for him, okay? So Zohran was willing to take risk, and I think people felt that he was authentic, even though like they probably didn't like him or probably didn't like his policies, but the fact that he still gave his time to them, I think people appreciated that. And I think even the New Yorkers that didn't vote for him probably respect the fact that he was willing to put himself out there like that. On top of that, all the smears, all kinds of smears that were coming against Zohran was crazy. But I do like this quote from this one person on Twitter, shout out to her. You know, you had Bill Clinton, who's another sex pest, Michael Bloomberg, who's whatever, Jim Clyburn, mind you, he's a whole freaking politician in South Carolina. Why the hell are you even involved in NYC politics, you dummy? You know, the Democratic establishment, mind you, the same Democratic establishment that pushed Cuomo out because of his sexual harassment, sexual assault allegations, were the same ones that were endorsing him for the mayor candidate because they didn't want a quote-unquote socialist to win the primary. Hilarious, funny. The Democratic establishment brought out all the heavy hitters to try to help Andrew Cuomo win, and he lost, they lost. Zohran Mamdani is the future of the Democratic Party. And I truly, now, of course, there are going to be people like, they're going to say, well, no, don't get your hopes up because this might, Zohran Mamdani could just be like another AOC type. You know, when AOC came in, everybody had all kinds of hope for the Democratic Party, but yet, we still got the same establishment, Democrats and stuff like that. True, but I feel like, being a congressperson and being a mayor is two different things. I feel like local level politicians are more effective than like the federal level politicians. So I think that Mamdani will have more of an effect on voters' pockets and voters' wishes way more than the AOC would personally. But listen, this was a defeat of the establishment. Andrew Cuomo pulled out all the old school politicians, old. Like, and I'm not saying old people didn't vote for Zohran, but let's also be very clear, it's no shade. It's mostly young folks that really pulled this out for Zohran. It was mostly young folks that really came out and pushed hard for him. And when I say young, I'm talking about like 38 and under, okay? So, and of course you have like more like the 60, 65 and up who mostly went Cuomo's way. That's just the facts of the matter. Now, I will say this though, the Boogie Down Bronx, I'm highly upset with you. Okay? My family is from the Bronx. My family is from the Boogie Down. So the fact that y'all mostly voted Cuomo, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling it at all, okay? Staten Island, you're the same thing. I don't know what's going on over there in Staten Island. Y'all over there voting for sex pests. Y'all better cut it out. Y'all better get information, okay? The tides are turning, But listen, Zohran won 3 out of the 5 boroughs of New York City, and that is an accomplishment, especially for someone that didn't have the corporate backing, the establishment backing, grassroots. This was, let me show you the statistics. Okay? Look at Cuomo's super PAC and how much they, literally $35.6 million. Someone said that this is, for a primary election, this is the most money that has ever been funded in a primary election. Like, all eyes were on New York last night, okay? And when I mean that like, literally, you can go on Twitter right now, you will see conservatives crying, hoping, mind you, this is a Democratic primary, whatever. There are even people that don't even live in New York that are crying about this. And at first I was like, why do y'all even care? Because it's like, y'all don't even live in New York City. Y'all don't even live in the state. So why do y'all care about it? But then I thought about it. I'm like, oh, they're crying because they feel like this is going to be a referendum for what's to come in the midterms in next year in 2026 for the Senate and for the House. There's a referendum. And this is also going to be probably a referendum for what's to come in 2028. So that's why you have a lot of conservative tears, a lot of Zionist tears crying all over Twitter. Talking about, oh, there's going to be jihadist city, there's going to be, Sharia law, da-da-da-da, blah, 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 fear-mongering all across. Mind you, they smeared Zohran so much, they called him all kinds of names, racist tropes, Islamophobic tropes, and guess what? None of it worked. All the money... mind you, this is a waste of money. $35.6 million, Cuomo? 35.6. You wasted all that money to the ads, smearing Zohran, smearing him all over the mainstream media, only for you to. And the thing is, I wasn't expecting Zohran. Okay, I had faith in Zohran. Don't get me wrong. Like, I really truly did have faith in him, but I knew that like if he was going to win, it was going to be probably by a small margin. Like, and I think it was probably going to go into recall, and like they have to count it again, and he'll still win. But I still have faith in him. But I thought it was going to be by a small margin. I did not expect for him to have that 8-point, almost 10-point lead over. Like, that was a shock to me last night. I could not believe it. So the fact that Cuomo, I mean, like Zohran, this was a huge, and I get it. This is just the primary. People are gonna be like, oh, it's just the primary. He might lose in the general election, and I get that. And God willing, he'll win in the general election. I believe. Like now, I had faith in Zohran before, but like he has like my full faith now that he will win the general election in November 4th. So he just, this is such a win, a great win for him, and especially for being New York City. You know, the city has been horrible, but listen, let's celebrate for now. Let's take our breaks, but you know, the fight is not over yet. And shout out to Zohran Mamdani. Listen, vote for Zohran for mayor, New Yorkers, on November 4th, okay? Stop playing with me. We need change in the Democratic Party. I'm sick and tired of these establishment, you know, Republican light, freaking scratch a liberal, a fascist bleeds, Democrats. I'm tired of these. I'm tired of the Eric Adams. I'm tired of the Eric Adams types of the world. I'm tired of the Andrew Cuomo types of the world. I'm tired of the, who else? Kristen Gillibrand, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries. I'm tired of these establishment Democrats. Get new, fresh blood. Get some fresh blood. Get some leftist democratic socialists in there. Get some new people in there. I'm tired of seeing the same old faces that want to be playing footsie with Republicans. F that. We need an opposition party. Anyway, y'all, you guys tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. As you can see, I'm very passionate today. So tell me what you guys think about Zohran Mamdani's win. And I'll talk to you guys later. Also, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get up to 2,000 subscribers. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.